Good morning.
Good morning.
So I met with Chad about a month and a half ago, and we were going through his 6-month plan of all the sermons that he wanted to do, and he was explaining what he had plans, and I immediately was drawn to the love sermon. And sorry to say, Chad, but I completely stopped listening to the rest of the 6-month plan because I had already started writing a sermon in my head because I had a shiver down my spine, and I was like, that's what I need to do. And so, because I knew I had a story that I think I could find a way to fit into the love, and so, I knew that that's what I needed to do. So today we're going to talk about the love your neighbor as yourself. And that whole scripture passage is the greatest commandment, saying love your God with all of your heart and all of your mind. And that one is pretty easy. We all do it. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we live the way that we do, is because we love our God. And we love our neighbor because we're Christians and that's what we're taught to do, and that's an easy thing to do. But we kind of forget the third part of as yourself. And I think, at least for me, and I know several other people, really struggle with that aspect of loving ourselves. And everybody has a part in their life where they struggle to love themselves, whether it's emotionally unhealthy, whether it's spiritually something, or it's just a blip in your story that causes you to struggle to love yourself. And that's one thing that I struggle with, is I have a blip in my story. So about a little over 4 years ago, I was sexually assaulted by a classmate. And aside from that horrific thing, I had to see him every day until I graduated high school for 8 months. And after I had finally gotten out of that frozen state of seeing him every single day, I kind of lost it after I graduated. I blamed myself. I had questions about why did this happen to me, and why didn't I do something to stop it, and what did I do that caused this to happen to me? And I hated myself for it. And I couldn't hardly stand to look at myself in the mirror because I just had so much anger and hatred towards myself because of this terrible thing that happened to me. And I blamed God. And I was like, I trusted you with my life, and this happened to me. And if I can't love myself now, how is anybody in my future going to love me? And so there's stories all over the Bible with people like that who are seen, and I lost the value. I lost the value that I had seen in myself. And there are stories all over the Bible of people who are seen as less valued. In the book of John, chapter 4, Jesus is walking through Samaria, and he stops at a well in the middle of the afternoon, and he sees a woman getting water from the well. And besides being a woman in Samaria, with Jesus being a male Jew, those two wouldn't have talked. And her being a woman getting water from the well in the middle of the day, everybody would get water in the mornings before it got really hot. So she was somebody who wasn't valued by the community. And she didn't see value in herself because she had not one, not two, but 5 husbands. And Jesus stops and asks her for water. And as Jesus was talking to her, she said, I know that the Messiah called Christ is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. Jesus then declared, I, the one speaking to you, I am he. Jesus revealed himself to a Samaritan woman, one that, as far as society would see, has almost no value. Yet Jesus chose, because she reached out to him with the faith, and she reached out to him and said, I know that he is coming. Christ saw the value in her, and he said, I am he. He saw the faith that she had in him. So, after I had graduated high school, after a lot of self-reflection and a lot of therapy and a lot of praying, I finally began to see that despite what had happened to me, and despite everything that I had thought about myself, that God still saw the value in me, and he still saw everything that I could be, that he saw that I could still go to college and become a nurse and become a good daughter, sister, friend, that he still saw the value in me despite what had happened to me. And he still allowed me to come up here and talk to you and tell you my story. And that we need to learn how to see the values in ourselves, the value that God sees within us, because God values every single one of us, and we need to learn and we need to reach out with the faith that we have that value within us, and that we need to reach out and say with the faith that I am valued. And with that, we can love ourselves so that we can love and see the value within everybody else. And each one of you has something, whether it's a huge thing or whether it's just one small little thing that keeps you from seeing the value and the love that God has for you, that keeps you from loving yourself, that you can reach out to God and say, I need you. I need you to show me the value that you see in me. So if you guys want to reach out to God this morning, you can come up to the altar during this next song, and I or Chad will pray for you so that we can help you see the value that God sees in you.